Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Lizzie and I am so happy to have you, and today I am bringing you all a brand new speed build. First things first, and the most obvious of things, is that I am bringing you guys my first fall festive build of the season, and I am so excited. This build was so fun to make. It totally put me in the fall mood, and I am just so excited to finally be able to share it with you guys, and I'm even more excited about the fact that it is CC free, so hopefully you guys are excited about that as well. In other fun news, I am using a new G-Shade preset today for this video. I'm not sure if you guys could tell, but I was really excited to use it as it really just helped bring out the fall festive vibe into my game. I can't remember the name of it right now or the creator, but I will try and remember to link it in the description box below before this gets uploaded. But if I don't, feel free to drop a comment in my comment section and I will make sure to link it there for you guys, definitely. But yeah, I was just in the mood to try something new, so you guys will have to let me know if you like it, if you think I should keep with this one, go back to the old one, or try something completely different. I'm constantly messing around with the preset that I'm using in my game. Most commonly, I have been using almond, which I think I've talked about before, but I'm always looking for something different. Recently, it has been almond and sumahama that I have been using, but again, I'm just looking for something a little bit different, and so I was trying this new one out, and I really liked it for this specific build. We will see what happens when I go in and try and use it for something else, but yes, it was super fun to use for this build specifically because it just really brought out the kind of red undertones in everything and just really helped bring out the fall spirit. So yeah, really loved using that, and again, I will try and have that linked in the description box for you guys. But moving back to the build itself, this was a really easy build. The floor plan is super basic. The shape of the build is super basic. It was nothing special, nothing crazy or out of the box. It was just a house I found on Pinterest that I decided, hey, that would be perfect to recreate for my fall family home. So that's exactly what I did. The inside is not extremely festive. I did not want to go all out crazy on the inside because I still wanted it to be something that I could use or others could use easily without having to change a bunch on the interior. So I tried to keep it to a minimum. I think the most that there is fall decorations would be on the windows and in the kitchen. As far as I can remember, there might be a couple of random pumpkins or cards around in the living room, but I think most of it is contained to the exterior as well as the kitchen. The kitchen counter, I used debug items, carved pumpkins for one, and then I also used the carving pumpkin tools. So those are on the counter, and I'm not sure if the counter is functional with them on there. I do not play test my builds before I upload them. I do not have the time, so apologies in advance. If anything is broken, I am more than happy for you guys to drop a comment in my description box and I can attempt to fix it and re-upload it to the gallery, but I do not play test my builds before I release them, because that would just take a whole bunch of extra time that I do not have. So yes, if you guys notice that the counters are not functional, which I'm kind of thinking they might not be, you can obviously remove that stuff or try and find a workaround for it. But yes, it is just debug items that I found in the debug menu, and I believe they came from the spooky stuff pack. So that should be where they are from, but it looked super cute, and I really thought that it was super fun to put it out on the counter as if the kids had been carving pumpkins with their dads, because that is a fond memory for me from around Halloween time, is carving pumpkins with my siblings and my dad, and we would just make a complete mess, and it was just quite something. So yeah, I wanted to add a little bit of that into my game. So yes, I hope you guys find that to be a cute little added factor in as well. So as you can see now, I am just working on the landscaping. Again, this was all super simple and really easy to do. If you guys hadn't noticed, I use a lot of live edit for my landscaping. And I do that for a number of reasons. For one, it makes the homes way cheaper because you're not paying for $50 shrubs everywhere. But also, they are just way more realistic choices, I feel, in the live edit menu. Their textures are just a little bit different, and you can find a lot more options for everything, whether that be slightly different green tones, for example, or just plants that don't show up in the regular build and buy catalog. But yes, just a little tip for anybody out there who may not have known that the live edit menu and the debug menu are both your best friends when it comes to building, because there are so many fun, unique things that you might not even know exist in the game. So especially if you aren't someone who uses CC, you can find a lot of cool items in the debug and live edit menus. You can find lots of landscaping pieces in the live edit, and for debug you can find just a lot of random little trinkets like remotes and dishes and a bunch of other things. They might conflict in gameplay, like debug, for example. I believe if you put down dishes, they do end up stinking like they would in game. But if you are just trying to build and such, and you're wanting to create a specific scene that maybe has more clutter and you can't use CC, or you're trying to make a CC free build, then I would definitely recommend checking out those menus for anybody who wasn't aware of that. Because I remember when I started so many years ago, I had no idea about the debug and live edit menus, and so I was always so curious as to where everyone was getting all of these items while saying that their builds were CC free. And that is my little trick for you guys. Here you can see that I am building the pool. This was my first time using round pools, and I am just so excited that they finally added that into the game. I cut it out, but I tried to mess around and see if I could make it functional if I raised it up out of the ground as an actual out of ground pool, but I couldn't figure out a way to make it functional without it being attached to a raised foundation, which is a super neat idea for a different kind of build, but just for this build it didn't really fit. But if anybody has found a way that doesn't involve raised platforms or foundations, and they found a way to make it possible to make a pool functional after raising it up out of the ground, let me know, because I cannot figure it out, and I'm thinking that there maybe just isn't a workaround for it. But yes, if anybody does know of a way, then feel free to drop that in the comments below, because I thought that a little out of ground round pool here would be so cute, and obviously I could have made one work. It just would not have been functional, so that is a little disappointing. But yeah, maybe one day that will be something that they make possible for us. Which, speaking about the future, so many exciting announcements have come out this week, I feel for the Sims community. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a blog post that gives the community all of these updates about The Sims. They are not EA, but they kind of post about things that EA has announced on. And so yeah, you guys should go check out their blog. I believe it's just called The Sims Community, but regardless, I follow them on Instagram and a couple of other social media platforms, and they were updating their blog like crazy, making so many different blog posts about all of these things that EA was kind of announcing and updating us on. And wow, I feel like we just got like info bombed this week by the Sims community, but that's okay. I haven't even looked into all of it. I do know, I believe a base game update dropped today. I haven't done a whole ton of research into it, but I just saw that a couple of people were posting about the fact that we got a base game free update today, and I believe we got some recolors and some completely new base game items, which is super exciting. And then I also know that we have a laundry list that is supposedly getting updated on, and I remember I talked about that a couple of speed builds ago, I believe, and I'm not sure if that dropped today with the base game update or if that is something totally separate, but that is also something that is possibly coming or did come today, and today is Wednesday. And then they also made a big announcement about the fact that I don't think it was a big announcement. It was mentioned in an interview, I believe, and the Sims community made an announcement on it, that the Sims 5 is no longer a thing, or maybe it was never a thing, or they're just now saying that they're not doing it and they're making Project Renee something different. I'm not totally sure. I don't fully understand that, really, if it was just that the Sims 5 was not going, they were not planning on making a Sims 5 and everybody just jumped to that conclusion with the info that we had about Project Renee, or if it was originally going to be a Sims 5 and then concern from the community made them decide to scratch that and turn it into something different. And we don't even really know what Project Renee is, essentially. I don't fully understand anything about Project Renee anymore, other than that it is not The Sims 5. And that instead of creating a Sims 5, they're going to be focusing all of that, or have been planning on focusing all of that energy onto The Sims 4 and continuing to make community approved upgrades to the game. And I believe there was mention of AI coming into The Sims 4 and possibly potentially multiplayer, if I understood the post about it correctly. So it sounded like they had some really big ideas and plans coming for The Sims 4, and personally, I know, my thoughts on it, I guess, are that I am a little bit relieved that we're not getting a Sims 5, because I think a lot of the community can kind of attest to the fact that we were, for one, worried that meant that the Sims 4 like DLC and improvements were going to begin to start coming to an end, which I know that they had kind of addressed when they announced Project Renee, that did not mean that The Sims 4 was going to stop with its progression or anything like that, and they still had lots of plans and ideas that they wanted to, bring to life in the game. But I still think that was kind of a common concern throughout the community, of just not knowing what that meant for the future of The Sims 4. Because we have all spent so much time and so much money in this game. I know so many people, I personally don't because I get really bored, but I know so many people who have like long generation legacy challenges that they have like 10 plus generations in, and so then to have to move to a different game, while exciting, is also not at the same time. And like I said, we've all just put so much money into this game. We have all spent so much time creating our personal gameplay styles and stories and families and all of these different things. I mean, it's been 10 years of The Sims 4, and so throughout that time there has been so much money and so much creativity and so much time and effort going into this game, that to then get a Sims 5, while exciting because of something new and something maybe a little bit different and something maybe a little bit better, is also just kind of like, oh, darn, that means the game that we've all spent 10 years on, or maybe less. I have not spent 10 years on this game, but so much time and so much money on is now no longer getting the spotlight in terms of improvements and new packs and all of that stuff. So personally for me, when I saw that they were not making a Sims 5, I was personally a little relieved about that, because it definitely made it sound like they still had tons of things that they wanted to bring into The Sims 4, which means that we will still have so many new things and so many new aspects to experience in this game with the Sims that we've already made and the stories that we already have in place, and all of that stuff. And they did sound like they addressed that in the interview or whatever it was that they mentioned, that there would not be a Sims 5. It did sound like they mentioned those concerns, and that's kind of why they made the decision to not come out with a Sims 5, because they know that we've all spent so much time and effort into this game and they don't want to have to make a start over. So regardless of when they came to that conclusion or why they came to that conclusion, I am just a little bit relieved. I am curious to know what your guys' thoughts on that are, so be sure to let me know down in the comments below. Where are you looking forward to a Sims 5? What do you think Project Renee is? Is the concept pictures that we've all seen? Is this some kind of new simulation type game like The Sims, but something a little bit different? What do we think that's going to be? And then I also am curious to know your guys' opinions on AI and AI coming into The Sims. Personally, I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's a cool concept. I believe they talked about the possibility of importing objects into the game from real life or maybe other games possibly, and textures and things. So again, I'm not sure how that will look for this game specifically. It kind of reminds me of the concept of Inzoi a little bit, and I'm not sure if that's something that they decided to do once Inzoi came out, or if that was something that they had kind of planned to do and then Inzoi came out. But regardless, I am curious on your guys' thoughts on it. I do think it could be a big game changer for the game, but I don't know how I feel about AI personally. I don't know, a part of it kind of freaks me out a little bit. So yeah, I am curious to know your guys' opinions and thoughts. Do you want it in the game? Do you not want it in the game? Do you not know what you want? How do you think that will look? And again, to each their own. I mean, everyone has a different way of playing. It does remind me of Inzoi, like I said, but it could be something completely different. It's just the way that it was described kind of made me think of that. So yeah, you guys will have to let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments. I think that was most of the Sims news that I saw today, other than the fact that they were also possibly bringing a new game to mobile or something, but I don't know much about that, so that'll be all I say on that topic. We are about a little over halfway through this build though, so let me move on to talking about the family that I picture here, and it is not anything in depth or creative or super amazing. It was just super basic. I was picturing a married couple living here, probably a little bit younger in age, young adults with their two middle school aged children. Maybe they're twins or maybe they're a couple years apart. I did create the rooms with a boy and girl in mind. However, that is, however you wish to play. But yeah, I was picturing just a young married couple with their two middle school kids. And they just love Halloween. I picture them, both the parents dressing up and the kids obviously dressing up, and they all go out and they go trick-or-treating, and maybe they hit up a Halloween party. I just feel like this family is very festive, not necessarily in the decoration type of sense. As I said, I didn't really decorate the inside super festive. Maybe I will do that for one of my future builds, but I did want to be able to use this in the future and also make it playable for others in the future who wouldn't want to have to come in and delete a bunch of like Halloween decorations or anything like that. So maybe I will make a little bit more of a Halloween themed build in the future, but yeah, I do think that this family loves Halloween, I think, or I guess SpookFest or whatever they call it in the game, but I can definitely see them just getting really festive and planning out their costumes like a couple months in advance, and maybe they have like a group of parents and like moms and dads and other kids around their kids' age. Wow, that sounded like a little bit of word vomit. Sorry. It's been a long day, but that's kind of what I picture. And they all just go trick-or-treating through the neighborhood, and then maybe they throw a Halloween party or something fun like that. I don't know, but I definitely feel like they are very social and they would make it a whole big group thing. And yeah, that is about all that I had planned really for this family. Like I said, nothing crazy, nothing super creative, but I wanted to include just a little bit of a snippet of kind of who I had pictured living in here. So on to some real life updates. I have a very busy second half of my week going on. So let's see, tomorrow is Thursday. I work a full day and then I come home, and this weekend is my sister's wedding. So tomorrow night we are going to be having the groom's side of the family over for some appetizers and such later in the evening. Then Friday I work until about 3. I come home, have to go get a manicure, and then a pedicure. Manicures, nails, pedicures, feet, so a pedicure. And then we are going to a winery with a bunch of the bridal party and family to celebrate. Saturday we have the rehearsal dinner. Sunday is the wedding itself, and I am the maid of honor who has still not written her speech. So yes, I will be doing that here and there throughout the next couple of days. Wish me luck. Hopefully by the time you guys see this on Friday, it will be written, or I will be writing it, or it will be almost written. But yeah, hopefully I get that done. I mean, I will get it done. I work really well under pressure, but hopefully I don't procrastinate it until the day of. But I honestly wouldn't even put it past me. But to add to the craziness, we have family in town, and I still live with my parents because I am a broke girl who just got out of college. And so I am saving up. And I'm sorry if you can hear the background noise. That is what I'm just about to start talking about, is the fact that we have family in town. And so I have been kicked out of my room and I'm currently in my sister's room recording this. I am spending the nights with her, and we have a bunch of family in town. And then next week, the craziness continues because my parents are leaving for a trip. Our aunt is going to be here with us for a couple of days, and I will be working half days at my job. And so, yeah, it'll just be a little bit crazy, but that's okay. Hopefully I will have a little bit more time to play Sims next week, since I'll only be working half days in the office. Hopefully I can kind of crack down and stock up on some builds, because I am leaving the week after next week, and I am traveling to Poland 2 Fridays from now for a whole week. So this month is crazy busy for me. The beginning of next month is crazy busy for me, but after that I think really it should be pretty calm after I get back from my trip. But yes, so I need to get some pre-recording done. I want to do some gameplay. I want to go through and download CC. I have fallen into the CC pit on Pinterest. So yeah, like I said, there are just so many things going on in my life right now, and working full time and needing to do everything else on top of that to stay a fully functioning human being. It is just hard to to find time to play The Sims. And as you can see, your girl clearly has some brain rot. It's true, I can't even lie about it. So yeah, the brain rot is real. But like I said, hopefully things will be dying down, not soon, but towards the middle of next month. Hopefully things will be getting a little bit slower, but we are nearing the end of this build, so as always I'm going to tap out here. I hope you guys enjoyed this build and it put you in the festive fall spirit, and if you did enjoy, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see all of you friends next time. Bye guys.